So off to the left of the main area that I enter at, people are walking up the Great Wall. Then here are a number of gates which look like they would cross a river, which looks like it's beyond this wall, which I'll see in a moment. But there is another line of towers and wall that go up there, and of course up on top to the left you can see still another. So this certainly appears to be the part of the bridge that crosses the river, certainly all completely new, at least what we see is all new. Whether that lower portion, the foundation stones are original or not, I don't know. It would be interesting to see what my perspective, how it changes as I see more, because it appears to be either a great wall or just a very nice embankment over on the other side there through those gates. This looks like a typical local's raft of bamboo, seen all over Southeast Asia, out in the Tules in particular. So we'll follow this little path. A few tourists are coming back this way. I don't know what they see or where they go. If you look beneath the water, you can see that there's paving there. So perhaps at one time that level was the surface of the ground, and maybe the river is just high right now. My guess is that this is a cute little facsimile of a armed boat that might have plied the river. There's a couple simulated cannons sticking out of the back. This is a somewhat picturesque starting point with these bold rocks and the pretty flowers and the nicely terraced area I'm standing on. Again, there you can see the foundation stones, the original ones. What's fun about the Great Wall is how it snakes all over the mountains about, seemingly. Here it rises up to the right, but then if we look over to the left, on the immediate hill to the left is another one, but then way back in the center you'll see still higher up another tower, which means somehow the wall snakes about in those valleys and up those other slopes. Now notice all the way up this slope it's been terraced for various fruits. Down below, I think apple. Don't know what these are, either peaches, I think. And here the interior of a tower, nicely restored, looking very much like the example at the museum. They're a huge net system like you see in Southeast Asia, and I think in South America, for protecting whatever those plants or trees might be, and they're probably apple trees, from various insects. And I'll show you a even more labor-intensive, precise technique that they use. Now, this would have been a dangerous window, not only because of all the urine that people leave here over years, but because you had to look at the sides of everyone who was attacking this wall, and they could just as easily shoot a few this way. And you didn't have a lot of room to get out of the way here. There apparently was a road run up here to serve the reconstruction at some time in the past. Okay, this next section is unrestored but not blocked yet, so we'll try going up that. And it ends up there, as you might imagine, since absent 21st century or 20th century climbing gear, it's doubtful they'll get attacked from there. Well, at least it's quieter. Now all of the surface stones, the big surface stones, have been taken off of all of this section, probably to use in restoring the other section. I hear some people yelling behind me, but since they always yell, I don't know what that would be about. I'm going to assume it has nothing to do with me. It's interesting to see what this is. Maybe there was some kind of tower off to the side. You have to be careful here because it isn't, man. They take no responsibility for it. They actually take no responsibility anyway, but I must take responsibility for myself. Ni hao. Okay, the side here is rather narrow because to my right it's all worn down. The surface stone has been taken away, and so too on the other side. Here you can see what I'm talking about. For some reason he'd gone far enough, he didn't signal me to go back. It's a pretty little walk up this narrow place. I'm not the first, of course. There's a path here that's substantial. If the authorities bothered about it, they'd barricade it. Last tower, but there's the last run up to the top, so I think I'll make that. Okay, it's only me and that spider. If you can see him dead center in the screen. And we're now at the top of the Great Wall section. Presumably the wall came right up here and blocked this little area here too. And that was considered to be enough. So there's the top, and you can see a little bit of the tower poking out. I'm not going to run the risk of walking further to the right. I don't know if you can go up the other side or not. I'm not sure I want to. This valley is what was being protected. And that valley. So that's kind of fun. It's kind of like being on that Temple of the Moon in Mexico when nobody was there for 45 minutes to an hour. Here there's nobody on not only the section I'm on, but not even in that tower. That terracing on all of those hills as far as we can see, at least at the lower elevations. And here's this last tower. And this is the formidable climb you had to make to attack it. Here a little detail delineating the base of the tower and the first floor apparently. Now what's interesting is this present day little cubby hole that you have to crawl through to get out or up, and I just wonder if it's all been filled in with rubble. These look like stairs, but this is the first time I've seen one this short. Remains of the last tower that has any remains. And its nearby brethren. Up to that tower is the last of the unrestored portion. Chinese love to yell, this time probably for the purpose of trying to get an echo back. It just occurred to me that perhaps this road also serves a greater function now of access to these crops. This little pigeon flew up from the ground and just stood on the wall when I came down. Now he's not sure what I'm going to do. Like so many ruin sites all over the world, if you go past the normal tourist perimeter, the vegetation has crept in, sometimes dramatically so, particularly in South America and Central America.